Sa taxable income o sa gross sales? Sa gross. Ito yun, yung tatlong to. 500, 500, 2 million. So that's 3 million. Pero di ba, since hindi ka naman mixed income earner, wala kang compensation income, you're entitled to 250,000 exemption. So you deduct muna the 250. Then there, you multiply 8%. So ang nabayaran mo na pala, 220,000. So ang due mo na lang ay 289,200 pesos. Are we clear with the illustration? Okay, so yeah. Don't worry, we have more illustrations to follow. In illustration number 2, gross sales receipt exceed 3 million. Let's find out. What do we have? Miss RPSV is a prominent independent contractor who offers architectural and engineering services. Since her career flourished, her total gross receipt amounted to 4,250,000 for the taxable year 2018. Her recorded cost of service and operating expenses are as follows. Ito siya. So are you entitled to the 8% gross income tax option? The answer is no. So what would apply? The default tax would apply, which is the graduated. Being graduated, tax rate, the computation, sorry, di ba business income ang meron dito, profession? At pag business income graduated, dapat mag-a-apply yung graduated sa taxable income. So taxable income is gross receipt minus cost of service and minus operating expenses. So that's 1.1 million. So applying the graduated table, for the first 800,000, the tax is 130,000. For the excess, 30%. So for a total of 280,000. Ano nga yung type ng income na gross pa rin siya kahit graduated ang applicable? If it's about what income? Compensation. Very good. Pero kung business yan, dapat taxable income, which is net of your expenses. Okay? We have illustration number 3. There's no election of 8%. Let's find out. In 2018, Mr. GCC owns a nightclub and a videoke bar. Ang kanyang gross receipts ay 2.5 million. Ang kanyang cost of sales and operating expenses ay etong mga to. 1,600,000 and the non-operating income of 100,000. So wait lang. What would apply? Since meron siyang business and hindi niya pinili yung 8%. So graduated. So since graduated, ang mag-a-apply at business income to, sa taxable income tayo magta-tax. Which is from the gross sales, you deduct the expenses, cost of sales, operating, and other non-operating income. So that's 1 million, no? Then you apply the graduated tax rate. For the first 800,000, that's 130,000. For the excess, 30%. Total, 190,000. Okay? Let's go to mixed income earner. Mr. Mag, a financial controller of Job Company, earned annual compensation in 2018 of 1.5 million. That's inclusive of 13th month pay and other benefits na 120,000. Notice class, exempt kasi itong 13th month pay. Hindi yan tinatax. Pero, up to 90,000 lang. So, therefore, tatanggalin mo ang 13th month pay. Pero ang babawas mo lang dito, instead na 120, 90,000 lang. Exempted yun eh. Kasi Christmas time yan, di ba? Magastos pagka Christmas. So, in-exempt siya ng loan natin. Pero there's a ceiling, no? And the amount is 90,000. Net na siya ng SSS and PhilHealth contributions. Okay lang yan. Dapat talaga binabawas yan kasi mga mandatory contributions yan. Okay? So, question. Ano ang mag-a-apply na tax doon sa compensation? Graduated or 8% option? Graduated. Bawal ang 8% sa compensation. Pero since compensation to, binabawas mo ba yung mga expenses mo sa compensation bago siya i-tax? No. So therefore, anong mababawas mo lang dun sa 1.5 million na compensation? The exempt. Na magkano exempt na 13th month? 90,000. So hanggang dun lang. Hindi naman talaga bawas ang 90,000 kundi tinatanggal mo. It's a little different. Okay? It's not expense, but it's just an exemption. No? Now, aside daw from employment, meron pa siyang convenience store na may gross sales na 2.4 million. Okay? So, cost of sales and operating expenses, ito yung mga yon. Pero meron pa siyang non-operating income na 100,000. Di ba yung 100,000, ipa-plus mo yan sa 2.4. That's 2.5 million. So this one did not exceed na 3 million. So do you have an option to apply 8%? Yes. Okay. So in this case, his tax for 2018 shall be computed as follows. If he opted to be taxed using 8%. For the compensation, yan. Ito yung ginawa natin kanina. Tinanggal natin yung exempt, the maximum of 90,000. So ang tax due mo sa compensation, so 1.4 million, for the first 800,000, 130. For the excess, it's 30,000. Yan. So sa compensation, yung tax mo, 313,000. Now for the business income, since you applied 8%, saan dapat i-multiply yung 8%? Dapat sa gross sales. And that is 2.4 million plus the non-operating income of 100,000. So 8%. Diretso 8%. Ulitin ko lang. Bakit hindi na binawasan ng 250,000 itong 2.5 million? Bakit wala nang bawas to ng 250K? The reason is, nabawas na yon sa compensation. kasi na-graduated ang compensation. Mixed income earner kasi siya. Okay? Pero kung wala kang compensation income, then you can deduct the 250 from the 2.5 million. Kasi the 250 can be availed of how many times lang? Once a year. Okay? Per year, no? So therefore, the total tax due in this case is 513,000. Okay? Now, ano naman kung yung 8% hindi niya pinili? Paano kung yung 8% hindi niya pinili? So what would apply to both type of income? Compensation and business. So graduated. Okay? So this is what's gonna happen. So sa compensation, yung exempt, remember class pag compensation, hindi mo babawasan ang expenses Kaya wag mo dapat ilalump together. Kukumputin mo muna yung taxable amount for both separately. Then after, saka mo lang ilalump together for the graduated tax rate. So tingnan mo, sa compensation, kinompute niya muna to. Ito muna. Then separately, kinompute yung sa business. Yan, ito siya. So ito yung binabawasan ng expenses. Okay? Then pag na-compute na to, taxable income na siya, taxable compensation na rin yun, yung isa, saka mo pagsasamahin. 2.31 million. Then on the 2.3 million, you apply the graduated tax rate. So dapat wala akong makita na compensation income tapos binawasan ng expenses. Hindi pwede. Pag compensation kasi, hindi ka naman na negosyo diba? So whatever is paid to you is your income. Yung nagagastos mo naman, pagkain mo, transpo mo, that's your personal expenses. And personal expenses are not business related. So they should not be deducted from your income. So therefore, compensation income is taxed without the benefit of reduced expenses deductions. Okay? Now, on February 2019, ang taxpayer na to nag-resign. So, yung kanyang compensation, magkano lang daw? 150. Okay, inclusive of benefits na 20,000. So, remains the same yung business operation niya. Opted siya for 8%. That's how it's going to be. Ang taxable compensation income mo, from 150, bawas natin yung 20. Remember, the maximum is 90,000, di ba? But that's maximum. Pero since the actual amount is lower, then you just deduct the actual, which is 20K. So, ito siya, 130. So, what would apply to the 130 taxable compensation income? Graduated. Pero sa graduated, ano ang tax sa first 250,000? Zero. So ito siya, zero. Okay? So then, you compute separately for business income. So gross income, the same. So pinili niya ang 8%. Yan, ito siya. So bawal nang i-deduct yung 250 kasi na-avail na yon dun sa compensation income. Saka mixed income earner siya, di ba? Okay. So do not, what do you call this? Combine compensation income and business income. Pwede mo lang i-combine if you're gonna apply na on them the graduated tax rates. Okay? So that's the computation. Now, illustration number 5, mixed income earner. Mr. WBV, an officer of a company, earned in 2018 annual compensation of 1.2 million. So my 13th month, the total amount is 120. Magkano maximum na pwedeng ibawas? That's just how much? 90K. Aside from employment, meron daw siyang farm. That's 3.5 million. So ang kanyang cost of sales and operating expenses, so ito, non-operating income na 100,000. This is the computation. For the compensation income, reduce the amount by the exempt 13th month pay. So this is the taxable compensation income. For the business, gross amount, yung sales, bakit hindi ginamit pala dito yung 8%? I forgot to ask you that. Kasi ang ginamit dito, graduated na eh. Na-deduct na yung expenses, then the total taxable amount, in-apply yung graduated tax. And the total tax is 845,200. Because the sales, including the non-operating income, exceeded 3 million. That is 3.5 million plus 100,000. 3.6 million. So there's no option to avail of the 8% optional tax. Okay? Ito additional lang yung PERA. PERA stands for Personal Equity and Retirement Account. So pag contributor ka sa PERA, you're entitled to a non-refundable tax credit, 5% ng contribution. So the maximum allowable contribution for Filipino residents, 100,000. Overseas Filipinos, 200,000. So 5% ng 500,000, you can claim as tax credit. Okay? Pwede mong ibawas yung 5,000, I think 5,000, no? 5,000 ay 5% ng 100,000. Ang 5,000, pwede mong ibawas dito sa 845, 200. So ang tax due mo na lang, 840, 200. Because 5,000 is a tax credit. Pero for you to have this, kailangan mag-contribute ka sa personal equity and retirement account. You have to open a bank account, tapos retirement fund mo yan. Nag-offer ng ganyan incentive yung government to encourage savings. Okay? And to promote long-term investment. Okay? So, the benefit is you can claim tax credit. So, let me continue. Kulit ng anak ko eh. Wait lang. So, let's continue. Types of income ng resident at saka citizens and resident aliens. O, dito ka muna, mag-hi ka muna sa kanila. How are you, class pala? Hindi ko kayo natatanong. Are you okay so far? Okay pa ba kayo? Sige. Sige. Let me continue. Again, ano yung pinagsama natin yung tax regime, yung tatlo? We have, buhay pa naman. Okay. So ano yung tatlo? Resident citizens, non-resident citizens, and resident aliens. So yung tatlo ang kino-cover natin. Ha? So same rules yung mga na-discuss natin for the three of them. The type of income for them, compensation income, income from business, and income from practice of profession, passive income, capital gains, and other income. Now, among the five that we have here, ang na-cover na natin ay etong dalawa. So you know already the taxation for them, for the two of them. We'll find out itong dalawang. Okay? So compensation income is income arising from personal services rendered under employer-employee relationship. Okay? That's why you don't deduct personal expenses kasi personal unit. Kaya ang taxation natin sa sa compensation income is at the gross amount. Hindi, walang expenses. What we remove ay yung mga exempted lang. Like 13th month pay, okay? That's removal, not deduction. So salaries, wages, commission, basta may employer-employee relationship, ang mga nare-receive mo is in the form of compensation income. Okay, so tax that gross amount, no deductions for expenses. Let me clarify. For expenses are allowed. Okay. Unlike pag business income or profession income, you have cost of sales, cost of service, operating expenses that you may have to deduct. Okay. Exclusions. So French benefit for other than rank and file. But I will not discuss this muna kasi separate topic tong French benefits. De minimis, kasama yan dun sa French benefit topic. These are, very small benefits na hindi taxable. 13th month pay, as we've discussed, bonuses, other benefits, exempt yung not exceeding 90,000. And those specifically excluded by law. So business income, okay, or income from practice or profession. So business and or trade income. Fees from exercise of profession. Gains from sale or exchange of assets. Commissions, rental, and other incomes not covered by compensation. Question lang. Pag meron kang apartment, which you earn rental income, di ba? What type of income is it? From compensation or business profession? Correct. That's business profession. I'm saying business profession because I don't want to separate business and profession income. Kasi isa lang naman ang tax rule nila. So it's just compensation versus business profession. So it's business. Okay. Okay. Passive income. Okay. Interest, royalties, yan. Dividends, prizes, okay, result of an effort, kunwari sa isang contest. Winnings, result of a transaction where the outcome depends upon chance, like, making a bet. So these are the examples of passive income. Now, why are we discussing passive income separately from compensation income and income from business profession? The reason is this. Generally, passive income is subject to final withholding tax. And remember, pag na-subject na to final withholding tax, hindi na siya sinasama sa tax, sa income na isa subject to graduated income tax. Okay? So ito yung gusto kong ipamemorize sa inyo. Pag may nakita mo ito mga ganito, final withholding tax ito. And you're supposed to separate them. You're not supposed to include them sa other income mo na you'll subject to graduated income tax. So the first one is interest. So pag meron ka daw deposit sa bangko, yan, bank deposit to. Or, deposit substitute, trust fund, similar arrangement, the tax is 20% final. Okay, and withholding tax yan. Ganito siya, class, para malinaw. May deposit ka kay Banco de Oro. Kumita ka ng interest amounting to 100 pesos. So, meron kang interest income na 100 pesos. Since may income ka doon, dapat ba i-tax yun? Yes or no? Okay? Nag-deposit ka kay BDO, kumita ng interest income na 100 pesos yung deposit mo. So, may income ka na 100, interest, no? Dapat ba may tax yun o wala? Sige. Dapat may tax yun. At ang tax nun, 20%. Pero, since final withholding tax yun, ang mangyayari doon ganito. Iaawas na ni BDO, withholding agent si BDO, yung 20%, so that's 20. So magkano na lang ibibigay sa'yo na income? 80 lang ang ibibigay sa'yo. Yung 20, i-remit ng BDO diretso kay BIR. Okay? So, na final withholding tax na siya. So, pag ganun ba, i-declare mo pa ba sa ITR mo at kukumpitan mo ng graduated tax yung interest income mo na 100 or hindi na? Hindi na. You have to remove that. Okay? So that's the tax rule for final withholding tax. So you have to memorize these things na subject to final withholding tax. Generally, mga passive income. So bank deposit, interest income, ganun din yung mga long term. Yun nga lang, pag more than 5 years yan, 5 years or more, exempt. Pero pag na-preterminate, depending on the number of years na nahawakan mo siya, may tax na siya. Pero kung nahawakan mo ng matagal, 4 years to less than 5 years, 5% lang instead na 20. Pero kung 3 years to 4, 12%. Pero kung less than 3 years, babalik sa 20%. Okay? Pag sa FCDU, we will discuss FCDU sa next topic ng resident, citizen, resident alien. 15%. Pero pag FCDU ang ibig sabihin foreign currency. Pag foreign currency, tapos mga non-resident, then OFW, seaman, mga non-resident yan, exempt. Then FCDU in a bank, joint names ng OFW, tapos yung spouse niya na resident. Yung kalahati, yung pertaining sa OFW, exempt. Then yung sa spouse na resident, yung kalahati, subject to 15%. Okay, so within the Philippines to mga to, So memorize nyo to, okay? Then royalty, in general, 20%, final din siya. Pero pag mga libro, mga literary works, yan, sa music, yan, sa authorship, 10% lang. Okay? Then prizes and winnings. Pag prizes not exceeding 10,000, exceeding 10,000, 20% final. Pagka not, graduated siya. Then other winnings. Pag sa Lotto under PCSO, not exceeding 10K is exempt. So others exceeding 10K, 20% final. Okay? So dividends. Galing sa domestic corporation, yan, 10% final withholding tax. So let me ask you, kunwari nag-invest ka kay Jollibee, 1 million ang in-invest mo. Binayaran ka ngayon ng dividendo ng Jollibee, 100,000. Is 100,000 really the amount that you're going to receive? No. Because that is subject to what? Final withholding tax at the rate of 10%. So 100,000 times 10% is 10K, di ba? So you deduct that. So how much would you actually receive? So 90K. And what's the obligation of Jollibee with regard to the 10,000 withholding tax? Jollibee has to remit that to BIR. Okay? On your part, pag gumawa ka ng ITR mo, i-declare mo pa ba yung dividend income na yon or hindi na? Hindi na because that was already subjected to final withholding tax. Okay? So, sinong hahabulin ng BIR? Na-deduct na yun eh. Sinong hahabulin ng BIR kung may hindi nabayaran na tax? Ikaw ba o si Jollibee? So, si Jollibee. Kasi Jollibee is the responsible person doon eh. Okay? Pag final withholding tax, ganun siya. Kaya maganda kung ang mga income mo, mga na-subject na sa final withholding tax, mga passive income. So, you know, wala ka ng tax obligation to prepare your tax return. Hindi ka nakahabuli ng BIR. Kasi ang binahabol talaga dyan, yung withholding agent. Paano pag nasara yung company? Kunwari, nasara si Jollibee. In that case, si Jollibee pa rin yung hahabulin. So, you're really, you know, yes, Eunice? Question?
Sir, may i-ask lang po ako. Kasi po, yung mother ko, nagtrabaho siya sa isang, tahian nung mga 20s pa, mga matagal na po.
Okay.
Kasi etong company na to, hindi binibigay yung taxes nila sa BIR. Tapos ngayon, nitong nakaraang taon lang po nalaman ng mommy ko. Paano po kaya yun? Kaso sarado na po kasi yung yung tahian. Matagal.
Ang hinahabol kasi pag ganyan, yung presidente, saka yung treasurer ng niya.
Pag hindi po nakita, wala na talaga.
Outstanding lang yung kaso nila. May kasong tax evasion.
Okay po. Thank
Pag
you po.
nahuli, may kulong yan.
Oo nga po eh. Thank you po, sir.
Sige. Ang walang kulong lang, di ba, if you don't pay your cedula. Pero other taxes, may criminal offense yan.
Okay po. Thank you.
On the part of the employee, kasi withholding tax yan, you don't have liability. So, yan. Saka wala na sa yung pera eh. Diba, naawas na siya bago mo pa na-receive as an employee.
Yes po.
Okay?
Thank you po.
So, this one, pag galing naman sa foreign corporation, received ng resident, graduated tax yan. Ang pina-final tax lang natin, class, take note, itong heading natin dito, yung mga within the Philippines. So you can see sa previous slide, puro within the Philippines to eh. Lahat ng galing sa outside, graduated yung tax niya. Pag foreign corporation, tapos receive ng non-resident, tapos yung resident alien, exempt. Kasi galing sa foreign corp, at sila naman, Pilipinas lang yung taxable sa kanila. They're not worldwide ang taxation. Okay? So eto, kung na-receive siya ng resident, citizen, taxable pa rin kasi worldwide ito eh. But since galing sa foreign, it's not within the Philippines, graduated siya, hindi siya final withholding tax. Okay? So ito nga yun, no? Pag ang passive income ay galing sa labas ng Pilipinas, pag na-receive ng resident citizen, graduated yan. In this case, final withholding tax will not apply kasi out of reach siya ng BIR. Hindi siya makahabol. No? So, yeah. Pero syempre, pagka other than RC, then exempt yun kasi outside of the Philippines. Now, we have some illustration dito. How much is the total final tax sa income ni Pedro? Resident citizen daw siya. At ito yung mga income niya. Royalty from copyright. Net of tax. Ilang percent ang royalty tax? Final withholding. Pag copyright. Remember, copyright is related to books, di ba? It's 10%. So, kung net na to, ilang percent na lang to? Nabawasan na to ng 10%, so this is representing 90. Di ba? 90%. So, mineral claim, royalty. So pag mineral claim, 20% ito. Therefore, the 12,000 represents 80% na lang. Share from trading partnership. Yan, net na rin. Okay, so this is dividend, di ba? 10%. So final withholding tax or final tax. So sa royalty, you gross up muna, then you multiply by 10%. 1,250. Mineral royalty, gross up muna, multiply by 20%. 3,000. Then for dividend, gross up muna, then 10%. So total is 34,250. Letter B yung answer. Anong sagot nyo dito sa number 2? How much is the income tax still due and payable? Okay, so the answer is delta. No? So wala na kasi these are already final withholding tax. So you're not liable anymore to declare that, okay? And that's out of reach na ng BIR as far as you are concerned because the liability rests with the withholding agent. Yun yung nagbayad, yung payor. No? So bago mo pa ma-receive, dapat na-withhold na yan. Okay? Capital gains, konti na lang class. No? Net capital gains from sale of shares of stocks. So not listed, traded sa PSE. So 15% siya, final. So kunwari, bumili ka ng stocks, ang bayad mo 100,000. Nabenta mo siya later on for 110,000. So magkano ang capital gain mo dito? 10K. So the tax is 15%. So you have to pay 1,500. This is net capital gains. Pero tandaan, hindi listed hindi traded sa PSE. Kunwari, bumili ka ng stock sa isang corporation dyan sa tabi-tabi. Hindi siya listed sa PSE. And this is the transaction. So meron kang CGT na 1.5. Capital gains tax. Okay, pero pag traded yan, that is exempt. Subject yan sa ibang tax. Didiscuss natin to next semester. Hindi income tax yung STP. Okay? Pag listed and traded sa local tax exchange. Kunwari, bumili ka ng stocks ng Jollibee. Jollibee is a listed company sa PSE. So, pag later on, binenta mo na and you have a gain, that gain is exempt from CGT. So that's the benefit of those that are traded sa Philippine Stock Exchange. Okay? So sa real property naman, meron ding capital gain yan. 6%, whichever is higher. Selling price, fair market value, yan, kung ano mas mataas. Pag binenta mo sa government, you have the option na magbayad ng graduated tax rate instead of the 6%. Pag sa government. Pag residence mo ang binenta mo, exempt, but under certain conditions. Okay? We will discuss itong mga to separate topic. Meron dedicated na topic para dito. So don't worry kung hindi pa masyadong emphasized. We have dedicated topic for dealings in properties. Medyo marami pang ibang details yan. No? Kailan siya exempt, what are the conditions, saka na lang yun. No? Now, income from sale or exchange or other disposition ng other capital asset. Ibig sabihin, other than shares of stocks and other than real property. Subject ito sa rule on withholding period, but this is subject to graduated income tax. Okay? Don't worry, again, this is covered in a separate topic, separate module dedicated alone for capital gains on dealings with properties. Okay? Now, capital gains for sources outside the Philippines. Pag received ng resident citizen, graduated siya. Again, hindi final withholding tax to. Kasi this is out of reach ng BIR. See, the source is outside of the Philippines. Other income, informer's reward. Ang ibig sabihin nito, nagsumbong ka sa BIR ng tax evader. And if the BIR recovers tax from your information, BIR can give you informer's reward. Pero itatax ka pa rin. Final tax of 10%. So 10% nung na-recover ng BIR, or the maximum is 1 million, whichever is lower, yun yung reward mo. And 10% of your reward will be withheld by the BIR in the form of final withholding tax. Sa election, pag hindi binalik yung excess campaign funds, subject to graduated income tax. Ano yung issue kay Yorme nung nakaraang election? Ang issue sa kanya, nung nag-run daw siya dati, meron siyang excess campaign fund na natira. Yun. So, sinarili niya na lang. Pero sabi niya, nagbayad na. So, sorry, my connection got lost, no? Pero we're done for today. So we have discussed yung tungkol dun sa taxation regime for, remember yung tatlo, resident citizen, non-resident citizen, tapos resident alien, okay? So yun lang for today. Next week, we're going to discuss new topic after this. So that will be on the Friday, the regular schedule. Sige, let's take our pictures na. Okay? And we'll dismiss. So please turn on your camera now. If you have some questions, feel free to message dun sa group natin or personally if you want to. Okay? So Remy, please take the picture.
Sige po, wait lang po. Marami pa po namin na-on. Smile po. Okay na po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.